Hey guys, my name is Ernest Joseph. I'm going to be your host for today, and we're gonna do a special session for you guys. Let me just stop sharing for a little bit. You guys can see me. So really, I appreciate you guys for taking the time. Whoever is going to watch this video, and really appreciate all your help and have a chance to listen to my crazy talk. So a lot of people have been requesting, asking me for some extra videos that I could, put in there for them to watch. Maybe that could help them pass the exam. So I have decided to do a few of them. And while I'm gonna go to those videos, you guys can, leave some comments. Maybe from there I can see if you guys really into it, so I can continue produce some more videos for you guys if that's going to help you out in your career or your journey. So just a little bit about myself for some of you guys who don't know my credentials. Just want to share a little bit of that with you guys. So we have both life and health license that, so you guys know that when we're doing those things, so not like, a lot of time I don't like saying things about myself that much, but just for some of you that need to know. We also have a personal line license that's to do auto and home insurance. And we have a Series 6 license. We have a Series 63 license. And we have a Series 26 license, which is a principal license. We have a Series 65 license, which is the advisor's license. And at the same time, we also have what we call a mortgage license. So just that's enough about me. I've been in the industry for many years. I've been not just about myself, but also how I could be able to touch some other people and help them into their career. At least they can be able to take those exams and pass. And everybody who've been putting comments, likes, shares, we really want to say, hey, one love, keep doing what you're doing. Really appreciate that. So today we're gonna talk about a different topics, something different than what we've been posting into the MMC University channel. So we're gonna do something different. Okay, so we want to see if we can have more people go to the next level. But while we're going to do this is going to be the first video, and we're going to have more coming in. I hope so. We can, based on the audience, based on your feedback, and that will continue. So now let's talk about and the investment license to get your series. Okay, there's many series that you can get, but we're gonna talk about specific about this SIE. This is the new series that many people are going to be studying after they get their life license, or maybe they can go straight to that license. But what you need to keep searching while let's say you're reading the book. So when you're reading the book, there's some stuff that you need to look in for while you're reading, so the information can sink in, all right? So I'm going to talk to you about some question that you need to know first of all, okay, before I share this slide. Okay, first of all, there's some question that you need to know, okay, while you're doing this study. For example, you need to ask yourself a question: what happened? Okay, you need to know what happened. While you're reading that book, okay, what happened? Same thing you could ask: why am I doing this study? Why am I going to study for this? What happened? So something happened back in 1929, 1930, when the Great Depression happened, the stock market crash, okay? Something happened. So you need to know those year, 1929, 1930, something happened along those lines. Because of what happened, okay, the market crash. But also you need to know why this happened. Why did it happen? Okay, when the Great Depression happened in 1929, what caused it to happen? What's the issue? And some of you might also say where it is happening, where it's not happening everywhere. It did happen into the financial sector. All right. That didn't say it happened in the healthcare or technology, but you have to know where did it happen. Okay. And I'll tell you where it did happen is from the financial arena. Okay. But also you need to know how did it happen? Okay. How? Those are the questions while you're reading, you need to also keep in mind. How did it happen? And not just only how did it happen, but also who get involved in it? Who get involved? Okay, pretty much not looking for somebody to blame, but also to know who get involved on that. Okay, when that happens, folks, there's a lot of things coming up into this learning. After they answer all those questions, they come up with some conclusion. So there were a problem, okay, in the financial industry. There were a problem. So let me see if I can put this slide for you. So there were a problem. Okay, so the problem, once you know there is a problem, folks, you need to looking for a solution. So they come up with some solution. So if something happened, you see there is a problem. Now they come up with some solution, but now also they have to do something where to prevent, what called prevention. Okay, so they have to come up with some prevention. So this is pretty much what this you're going to learn about, and moving forward in your life, you're going to continue if you stay into the financial services area. So you continue answer those questions and continue encounter those problems and also come up with solutions, and also how they come up with prevention from stopping it from happening again. So let's get to work. Let's get to work. Remember, you're gonna learn something special today. I hope this helping you out. All right. So let's go ahead and let me start. And that's enough for you, music. Let's get to work. So you did see the disclaimer. All right. So hopefully you did get a chance to read it. Okay. If you didn't have a chance, go ahead and read it. All right. So now the first thing we're going to talk about, let's talk about what is a security. We're going to talk about that first of all. What is a security? So many people say, when they say, well, I'm going to get a security license, and then somebody going to ask you, is it going to be the D license or is it going to be the G license? So the D license, just you have a baseball bat, so you're given security. But with the G license, you have an opportunity to carry a gun. So therefore, you can have a weapon on you to do that stuff. But no, folks, we're not talking about that, okay? And also some people thinking about security. If you just say, well, you know, I'm secure, you know, okay, I have my security. So it's not like, you know, like everything great. No, talking about something different. These are different topics, okay? Behind what you probably know about security. What is a security? Let's go ahead to the definition of it. So a security is an intangible financial asset. So it's an intangible financial asset. You can see it's an asset. That means it can produce money. It's a financial asset that may be bought. So that's something you can buy, okay? And you can sold. That means you can sell it as well. Or it can be gifted between persons. So you can give it to somebody else, okay? Persons, the word person, we're gonna discover that later on what persons mean. Not exactly, yes, I am a person, but there's a little bit more technicality when it comes to the financial services in terms of what considered to be a person. Things you may not even believe a person can be a person. So now that's a security, but we're not finishing that. So it can be represented, okay, but this is how you can represent what a security is, really is. It can be represented by a paper certificate, or it can be held in an electronic form. So you can have it electronically, or you can have it like paper. Back in the days, they used to, you know, more paper because the technology was not so advanced. All right, now you can have security like electronically these days. So now you understand just a little bit about what is a security, but also it's not just what is a security is. It's not just the definition is not done yet, but eventually, you know, pay attention, focus, you'll get it. All right. So, but what is the difference What's the difference between securities and commodities? Sometimes people have a confusion between those two, right? Security is a financial asset, like I said in the beginning. Okay, it's a financial asset such as stocks, okay, bonds, or mutual funds, etc. You can see there's more things you can know about what is really security is. But a commodity is a hard asset. It's something like a security is not a hard asset, but beside the certificate, but that's not really. The certificate is to show that you have it. But a commodity is a hard asset. That's mean such as gold. You can see it. Like if I take my chain here, you can see it here. Okay. Oh, I have my ring here. That could be a commodity because that's gold. Okay. Beef. All right. Beef. That's a commodity. Orange, juice, oil. Okay. But also you will need to remember commodities are not security. Remember that commodities are not securities, but they are like futures contract. Okay, they are derivative asset. So that's when they get the value from something else. Derivative mean from something else. They get the value from something else. So now, because all this happening so far, now you start getting a sense of it, what it is. Let's continue moving forward with it. But you also need to understand there is something happening. Okay, remember I tell you there is a problem. Okay, eventually there is problems and we can solution. But there is a case that happened back in 1946, get to the Supreme Court back in 1936. Okay, there is this guy named William. Okay, William John Howey, but he had a company. Okay, so we're not gonna go to all the details about how you can go ahead and do some search, but the case was between the Security Exchange Commission, which is what we call the SEC, versus William John Howey Corporation. So in that case, get all the way to the Supreme Court. Okay, it's where this guy was offering sales of contract or investment contract, but those contract was not registered. And we're gonna get to that later on as well. Okay, so he's selling is a type of investment. Okay, he's selling, but those investment was not registered with the SEC. So that means something happened. Okay, but you don't need to know all the scenario about the Howey. I just want you to understand what happened. It's a test. So now, because the case get involved in the Supreme Court, now it was so tough for them. Now the defendant tried to say, well, this is not a security, but now they had to come up with a test. So finally, the solution, they come with a test to define what considered to be a security and which one is not a security. So it was a case like that happening in the Supreme Court. So now here's what come up to it. Now, the Howey test referred to the SEC, okay, which is the Security Exchange Commission, versus W.J. Howey Corporation, which it get to the Supreme Court in 1946, okay? And this guy was an entrepreneur, he was a business guy, okay? And also he was a political person as well. So you can do some search about him. So now the Howey test, what you need to know for the exam, the Howey test refer, okay, to the US Supreme Court, okay, to determine whether a transaction qualify as an investment contract. Because remember I was telling you he was selling those investment contract, but now the case get in front of the Supreme Court. Now they need to qualify to see if this are security based, if it fall into certain criteria or categories, and therefore would be considered a security. So if it is an investment contract, so that it will consider to be a security. And now, because it's considered to be a security and is going to be subject to disclosure and also registration. Okay, but before 1929, I'm not saying they could not have registration, but registration was not something that's very important for the SEC. Maybe at that time, the SEC probably was not even, in that game, in the game. Okay, so registration get involved? Requirements under the Security Act of 1933. So because of the Act of 1933, so now because this can be a security, it's subject to disclosure and must register according to the Security Act of 1933. So eventually we're going to go over to this act, but right now it's not what we're doing right now. And the Security Exchange Act of 1934. So so both of those acts, that's regulation. Something happened, they have to come with regulation to requirements for companies and people to follow. And we're gonna discuss those two acts in more detail later on into this learning, okay? So now, this is how you're gonna understand the Howey test. This is how they come up with it. So in order for it to consider security, the Supreme Court established 4 criteria to determine whether an investment contract exists. So there's 4 things that need to happen in order for them to know this is going to be an investment contract. And you need to know the Howey test have 4 criteria. And that's what you need to know for the exam. Okay, in order for, if those 4 things exist, it will be considered a security and it must register. An investment of money, that's the number 1 thing. So in order for it to be considered an investment contract, you must invest money. So an investment of money. Second, in a common enterprise, that's mean in a company, in a common enterprise. That's the second thing that must be done. And third thing, that's thing to be done with expectation of a profit. So if I put that money into that company with an expectation that to make a profit, to make money, okay? Now it's not done yet. If it is only those 3, it's not a security. But there is one more thing that needs to be in order for it to be considered a security. Ain't you love that stuff? Yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love that learning. It's amazing, okay? And this is the last thing. To be derived from the effort of other people. So that's mean those 4 things. I have to invest some money into a company with expectation to make money, a profit, but without my effort, with somebody else's effort. If it meets those 4 things, now that's a security and it must register. When the case gets to the Supreme Court, that's what happened with the Howey test. That's why they come up with that. And that's why you are studying for this. So they come with the test. So now they need to listen, hey, after we find what's going on, now any things that fall into this 4 category, it will become a security. So therefore, it must register. That's why they come with the Howey test. Hopefully that makes sense to you now. Now, remember also, you got to do your reading, wherever university or place that helping you to get that license. Make sure you do your reading, because don't just depend on just this material, right? It's not going to be the only thing to help you to pass that exam. And you got to feel proud of yourself doing the study. Let's continue. Now, let me just give you some example. All of these securities must register. All this I'm about to tell you must register. They are considered securities. Okay? You'll find stocks. Stocks must register. Before somebody can sell it, buy it, that stock must register with the SEC. Bonds, okay, must register. Notes, debentures is a type of debt. Any type of debt security must register, okay? Then you're gonna find options, contracts must register. Jumbo CDs must register. You're gonna find the depository receipt must register. And also you're gonna find something called unit investment trust. A unit investment trust must register, and not forget about, because if you already have your life license, variable, remember when you're studying in your book, talking about variable life insurance and also variable annuity, they also must register, because those 2 products, variable life and variable annuity, part of it is an insurance, part of it is investment, because there's investment involved in it. So therefore it must register as well. And later on, we're going to talk to you more about the registration, what get involved when you come to the registration. All right. Now, there is some other item that's not security. So therefore, they don't need to be registered. All of these are not security. So there is a list of things that's not security. They don't need to register. That means they do not pass the Howey test. So they do not pass it. So therefore, they don't have to register. So the first thing I don't need to, some people will believe cash. Okay, let me see if I have some cash here. Okay, because this is some cash. I got some Washington here. Okay, you can see this is cash money. So this currency don't need to be registered. Okay, any currencies, they don't have to be registered. Either it's a cash, let's say it's the dollar, maybe it's the yen, it's the pesos, whatever that currency is, they don't need to register because they are not security. Some people confuse, well, since it's cash, it must, that sound like it's security, but folks, it's not. It's not. Okay. Number two, fixed annuities. Fixed annuity, they are not securities. They are an annuity. Okay. They are not investment contract because they fix. So therefore, they don't need to register. Life insurance. Of course, life insurance is not an investment. Okay. They don't need to register. Whole life, term, they don't need to register. I know some of you thinking, well, what about my casualty? There is money in there. No. They don't need to register. As long as they're not a variable life or a variable annuity, they don't need to register. They are not securities. Also, personal residence is not a security. Okay. Now, there's a way a real estate can become a security. But right now, a personal residence, that's where you live, it's not a security. But there's ways, if you turn it, it can become a security. But if it is a personal residence, that's where you stay, that's where you live, this is not a security. Commodities, I already explained that. The commodities, they are not security. And also remember, also futures contracts are not securities. Now later on, hopefully I get a chance, or you can have a chance to read in your book, if you do have a book. So to learn about commodities and also futures contract, okay? Futures contract, it's you can learn about it, and I'm not gonna go to the detail right now for that, but this is not. I know some of you have some other concern. Well, what about all those things that's going on right now? I know you say there's some Bitcoin going on, cryptocurrency. Okay, I have some news for you here so far. So far, this is an open question. This is there's some work that needs to be done to see if cryptocurrencies can be security. But as of right now, if you see that on your exam, so far, they're not a security. But maybe eventually it might become security. But right now, as we speak, they don't determine that. Like Bitcoin, they're not security as of right now. Okay, by far, they're not. Okay, they are commodities. Okay, so both of them, they are commodities. So they are not securities. So I hope so far you get a sense of it. That's the beginning of their journey to get your investment license, to pass that SIE. And then this will continue. This lesson to your journey to your financial career, you're still gonna need to know all that stuff we just covered for you. So this is the first video that we wanted to launch. So hopefully that's helped you out. Take a moment and look at it and stay tuned until for the next video. I see you guys at the top because you can do this. Believe in yourself, you can do it. Again, thank you. My name is Ernest, and it was nice at least to have me as a coach, as a mentor that can at least give you a little nuggets so you can pass that exam. If that's helped you out, don't forget to leave a comment and press the like button. At least I know, because I love those comments when people tell me, man, that's good. I passed my exam. So a blessing come to you. If I can be a blessing to you and your family, really appreciate it. One love. Have a good time. See you in the next video.